Hello and welcome to Saturday Strolling with the Orchids. Miss Goldstaff has finally opened up her bloom. This spike, she's had it for, I'm gonna say at least 6 months. And then she's got this second spike coming up here, working on a new leaf. I love these blooms. This is the first orchid that I successfully transitioned into LECA with the help of Nina over at Ninja Orchids. So why don't you go on over there if you grow in LECA or in organic media. She's got lots of tips and tricks, plus 30 years of orchid experience to share with you. I will link her channel below, and if you end up liking what you see, why don't you go ahead and subscribe. And go ahead and subscribe to this channel too. But these are two of our ICPU orchids. So that leaf right there is the one that she was starting with, so it's coming along. Got a nice new leaf growing there. And then I don't know if you can see the keiki back there or not, but do you see? Oh, you can see it. It is taking off. There's lots of new root growth going on there. That is the, I think it's the Yogo something another. I've never seen it in bloom. I bought it as a rescue back in, I believe it was 2020 or 2021. It did nothing for a year, and finally it's starting to do something. Miss Sunshine is senescing a beautiful little leaf, and then Sanderiana is starting a new leaf as well. I can't seem to keep more than 3 leaves on her. For some reason she grows, say 4 leaves, and then 1 falls off. So I'm not sure if I need to maybe give her more calcium, more fertilizer, not sure what's going on with her. And right in our face right here, Miss Queen's Bear is working on a beautiful spike. Another ICPU with that nice new leaf coming up as well. My beauty here that did not bloom for us last year. And this one here is Little Leaves, is finishing that right there. Not much going on with that one or this one. But look what opened up this week. Miss Bellina. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put some pictures without the kind of pink shading on her, but she is gorgeous. And the scent, you know, it's nice, but guess I'm just not getting what everyone else gets. It is her first blooming, so maybe as she matures, that scent will get to be a little bit stronger. Back here, Tai-Ching Fly Eagle has 2 spikes coming out, a new leaf, roots are active. She's just a go-getter. I like her. And then my Bellina Wild Type, those buds are starting to swell, as is the Ambonensis back there. But look what else we've got coming our way. Yelpon Evergreen has 3 buds, and it looks like all 3 of them, 2 of them at least, are going to open at the same time. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those blooms. And then this right here, my Summer Love, that spike, look how long it is. She's been in bloom for almost a full year now. Next month will be a full year that she's been in bloom. And then look at the mini mark. This is the largest spike and the most flowers I've had since getting her back in 21. But she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and looks like 10, 11, 12. A total of 12 all together right now. But oh my goodness, isn't that just gorgeous? Love that. Samara, look at this beautiful leaf she's growing. This was the first one that she grew in my care, and then this one, so they are getting larger. And she is out of her little seedling moss setup into a small bark perlite with just a little bit of moss in there to keep the moisture, because that's what she's used to. Sogo Vivian Leaf's Edge that I got from Nicole Deanna over at Nicole Deanna's Orchids is still blooming, and lots of active root activity. I know I said I was going to cut this spike, but I'm being greedy. I'm being very greedy. And then my birthday orchid here. Let me let you read that. Well, the spike that she came with is still there. She's growing lots of roots. Looks like it's trying to swell a bud. I'm not sure. She may not even bloom off of that spike just because, you know, difference in the acclimation and all. And it looks like my supervisor is sleeping on the job there, but we'll let him rest. Over here, the 3 spikes on the Equestrius Wilson I don't see anything kind of happening there, but the 3 spikes are still there. And finishing this new leaf right here. Nothing going on with the Paphiopedilum, but look what is happening with, show you this tag here, the RLC Chia Lin Golden Super crossed with Hilo Grand. Let me show you what I found. So we've got that growth already coming up. Got a possible growth there if I don't kill it with water. Another one there, so that's 3. And then we have one more that looks like it's swelling out right there. So we may have 4 growths on this lady this year, which means I will be very happy because that'll be 4 new root systems to help get her to thrive and survive. Not much going on over here with the Cattleyas, except for these growths are the best growths that I've gotten so far on this. This is my Volcano Queen. And then the Key Lime, I'm hoping with all this stronger growth, because ever since I put it in this hexagon basket, it is really like taken off. Like these growths that were so small when I first put her in are just really coming up. Look at this one. Look at that. And then of course, the beautiful, the one and only, it's a Greek wax ball. And guys, these do feel like wax. They actually feel like plastic. It actually feels like a plastic flower. And the scent reminds me of Twizzlers. Those little licorice candies, the Twizzlers, that's what that reminds me of. Nothing going on the Lindleyi, no new growth that I noticed. And then I still don't see a sheath or anything coming up on our Lois McNeil here, but this is starting to get more swollen with air, so there might be something coming out of that. Let's see, my Cattleya Zip has another sheath coming up with this growth, so maybe a bloom on that one. If not, I am going to predict a bloom on the next growth. Let's do that. No new growths on the white Cattleya. And then Ellen Taylor here, or Elaine Taylor, not Ellen Taylor, but I noticed a new growth coming on that right there. And then of course she's got this one coming. And then the Leopoldii dark one crossed with LC Sagreek Wax Red Beauty. Well, she, as you can see, has already started her next new growth off of here. And then this back section here, which this is what makes me think this is a division that got cut because of the smaller growths coming back here. Could be wrong, let me know. Yellowbird is just, I'm waiting on roots, guys. Waiting on those roots. As soon as I see those roots, I'm either, like I said before, cutting it in half or I'll put it in something different. Haven't quite figured that out. I'll decide once I get in there. And Mai Kai's growths are much more mature and larger than the previous, so that is good. And this is exciting. So here's the Maxima, and if you look, previous leaves had that black tippening. One of you wonderful people suggested calcium, so I did increase the calcium on her, and look at the new growths. All of them are coming in, even that one down there, are coming in without the black tip. So that is more than likely, because that's the only thing that I've changed, is increasing the calcium for her. So if you have an orchid that is having black tippening as the new growths are coming, increase your calcium and see if that doesn't fix that. And my Psychosis Mendenhall back here still isn't doing anything, but this one here with the newer growth, that growth is coming right on along. And my Leopoldii seedling did have 2 growths in it when I got it almost a year ago. I've had this since May of 23, but this latest growth is really impressive. And then back here, my Cattleya schilleriana with her 3 new growths. Look how much this one's coming on up. So she's coming into her own. 3 new root systems coming in for that one, so that's exciting. I've had this one since October of 23. It's one of my birthday orchids. And then the little purple back there, mini purple, She's not going downhill. She's maintaining herself. So I'm still fighting for her. And Gracum back there is working on a new leaf. And then this one over here still is one of our ICPU rescues. And lots of root growth, but I don't see a new growth on it quite yet. I was hoping that this bud on the candy stripes, or Christmas candy, Angel Eyes crossed with Dennis Rossinger Christmas candy, would have popped open, but as you can see, let me put that down real quick. As you can see, it'll be open by next Saturday. So be sure to tune in for that. Moved the, oh my goodness, which one is this? The Sweet Memory, the Ladoro Sweet Memory. I moved her down here. Her leaves are rather floppy, and she has roots in here. And yes, the media does look dry, but I had it a little more damp, and it didn't tighten up the leaves. So I figured I was going to let her dry completely out before I gave her a little bit more water. Japonica, working on her leaf. And move this over for a minute. This one, which is the Fritz Nicholas Spring Dance, has that beautiful new growth coming up on it. And I've had that since 2019 and literally one growth a year. It's a compact orchid. One day maybe we'll see some blooms on that one. And then the Oncidium Twinkle Oro is finishing up lots of new growth, so we may get multiple spikes on this later this year. And Gigantea, just working on that leaf back there. I really, really need to get to her and set her up. And then one of our May ICPU orchids here is finally doing leaf growth. She did a little bit of root growth. Now she's doing leaf growth. And that one over there is just doing nothing, just sitting there. But you know what? It's not declining. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, let me show you guys in Scriptiosis. So I was concerned with her. I think whatever was on her, I've taken care of, because look how nice and clean that new leaf is coming out. So on the top there, I did add some small lava rock and some grow stones to kind of help hold a little bit of moisture on the top. So keep your fingers crossed that she makes it. I don't know if I'll replace her, because I wasn't real impressed with her flowers. Not real impressed. And our little spiky spike here is just sitting there. So again, it may spike, it may not, but look at all of the roots. And then she's got, I thought I saw a new growth coming on her. Let me see, is that it? Yep. No, hold on, I have to tip her, guys. Hold on, hopefully I don't tip her off. No, that's an old leaf. I thought I saw a new growth on one of these sides. Maybe I was just hoping for a new growth. Then the Sue's Glad Kig Blue is now in her adult pot. She's heavy moss with some small bark and some perlite. She has new root growth coming, so I thought I'd change her out. She was used to sitting in moss. That's why it's kind of a heavier moss mixture. And I also moved my Miltonia spectabilis over here just to give her a little bit more light. And I'm thinking that this one is in too big of a pot now. So I may do like the switcheroo like I did with the Yellow King and put her in here, because she has a rather climbing rhizome. It's very spready, and give her lots of room to grow in here, and then put this one in this pot. Not 100% committed to that yet. And our sad little spike on my No ID Oncidium looks like it's going to go ahead and try. It's going to try. And then there's our Hawaiian treat that was just recently remounted. I like that. It looks like a tree trunk on my wall. That's what my daughter says. She says, "Oh my God, Mama, it looks like it's growing out of a tree." Why she didn't say that when it was just the mount by itself, I don't know. Maybe she likes this look better. Who knows? Our Dendrobium, ooh, hold on guys. I almost knocked that over. So these are our most recent ICPUs that we just got that are getting their final CalMag soak. And this one does have a little bit of seaweed added into it. And there's the other half of them. I will be putting them into some homes here later on this afternoon or tomorrow. But up until this one, so they got their initial CalMag soak. Then from there, I've just let them dry out at night. And then during the day, they just sat in plain water. And then this is their last little welcome cocktail kick before they go into a new home. But back to our Dendrobium back here. So the Dendrobium mini snowflake, I was hoping that at least this bunch would be open today, but of course not. So we do have 5 spikes. Had 7, 2 of them just decided not to do anything. And again, Royal Chip, she's got so many buds back there, but she's not opening any up. That's okay. She'll do it at her time. She'll do it on her time. And anything else exciting over here? Oh, yes. So my Unicum, as you can see, has a lovely new growth. And so I am looking out for roots because I'm still going to put that on a mount upside down. This oncidium twinkle, the spike is drying out. I'm going to let it finish absorbing all the way down before I cut it. Green leopard looks like doing rather well. And then this last growth, it never opened up. These leaves never spread out. Not sure why. May not have kept water in it long enough. But this leaf here, look how big it's getting. I cannot wait to see these pulchra blooms. One day, right? One day. I did move some of the oncidiums down here to make room for the spectabilis. So the, I want to say that's the Golden Gammon White Knight is working on that beautiful growth right there. And I thought I saw, if I can do this, let's see if we can get in here, if I can pick her up and turn her real quick, because she has another growth, I think, yes. Whoop, get it beside that leaf. Another growth coming as well. So that is lovely. Again, this one I've had since 2019 as well, and she is finally coming into her own. Nodosa, loving life back there. I moved the, I think this is the snowbird. It's a white one, I can't remember. And then the new growth on the Maya King, looking lovely. And then of course Kingianum, I'm expecting a new growth off of each new growth that she ended up producing in 2023. And by the end of everything, this was the last one that she did, and there were a total of 9 new growths, one of which got eaten by the grasshoppers. So I'm expecting her to double in size this year. Let's see. I grew her outside in 2023, so she will go outside if I decide to grow orchids outside this year. I have a new growth coming up on the chocolate chip, as well as, do I see any buds? No buds. And then, of course, Spectabula, Dendrobium Spectabula is, let's see, we have a nice new growth coming right. Let me put her down real quick. There it is. You see it? You can just barely see the beginning of it, the little green down there. But look at the difference in those bulbs. So the one on the left is the growth of 2023. And look how big and round and full it is compared to the previous growth that she came with. This is an Orchid Supply Store orchid that I purchased, well, almost a year ago in March of 2023. And so I don't just get the ICPUs, guys. I do actually purchase orchids from him as well. Ken has some very nice selection. And with spring right around the corner, go ahead and go to orchidsupply.store.com. Use coupon code TRISH at checkout. Get your supplies. Get your 12% off. Get your free shipping. And that one is still teasing me. Just sitting there. Still teasing me. And Hibiki, just full of cakeys and new growth. So it will bloom again when it blooms again. But let's look over here at Miss Dusty Belle. I took her out from the bottom shelf because look what we've got coming. We've got those beautiful blooms coming back with that lovely little scent that it has. And then The sweetheart here, or sweet tart, is putting out a second flush of blooms. I'm just going to cut this spike. I just wanted to show you guys her blooms one more time, but I am going to cut her spike. She's working on a new leaf, and I want her to concentrate on that. And then look at Pink Lip. I know her, she is starting to go over, but oh my goodness, I love the way that the branch with the mane hang over. Just loving that. And then hopefully next week as well, this lovely lady will be open. I have not seen her blooms since, oh, let's see, 2021. She was an experiment orchid that I purchased. I started off putting her in nothing but pumice. She was doing okay, but now she's in a leca setup. And yes, look what happened over the weekend. So we are waiting for that to melt. And then anything exciting going on over here? Nothing that I see. Let's see, let me move my chair out the way so I don't trip and fall. Oh, look what I did. I went ahead and put the coconut and the spider plants together. So I just cut the little babies back. They both had roots on them. And I just set her in here. And you can see Mama's just kind of hanging out there. But look at the babies. They're doing wonderful. I have a couple of more little spider babies I think I'm going to put in here and fill this in a little bit. And then eventually she will hang. I just wanted to make sure that she rooted in pretty good so I didn't have to keep pulling her up and down. And I'm still waiting on roots on that Dendrobium back there. Still can't find any. Marasaki over here, those growths are coming along nicely. You know, wouldn't it be nice if they both decided to push out a bloom? Because I will let her, due to the fact that, let me move her around here. Look at all these roots. Look at all the roots that are, and they're even coming out of the pot. Look at that. She's got enough roots in there that she can support 2 blooms, I think. And there's just some large lava rock. And when I set it in, I try to make sure that the roots are in the little open spot there so I don't smash them. Finally cut the spike off of this Marasaki here. And hopefully we can see some new growth coming in the next week or so. Nothing happening on my bluebirds except for this growth right here is finishing. I moved the other oncidium twinkle over here. And then look how weird this Paphiopedilum is growing. Look at this. Isn't that weird? Like, I'm not sure what's going on with that. What in the world? It should be growing like this. Started like this, and then it got this little skinniness to it. I'm just going to let it do its thing and see what happens. But that's just the weirdest looking thing. And then, of course, Scary Princess. I want to peel this back and see what's going on in there, but I'm afraid there might be a new growth. So I'm trying to be patient and let it completely dry, or completely yellow at least, before I pull it back. But I do continue to just spray it every day just to get the roots that are in there wet, because she doesn't have a lot and I don't want this media to be too wet. So there is a little bit of drying out on this bulb and this bulb, but not too bad, not too bad. And I keep looking for, and just move this twinkle out of the way real quick. I keep looking for this one to extend a spike again since I broke the other one. But I don't see anything, and I don't think she's going to. I think she's mad at me because I broke her last spike. And then, of course, our Curl Smith Cattleyas here, they're all still doing fantabulous, and I'm going to leave them here for probably another couple of weeks to finish acclimating, make sure everything is okay before I move them under the grow lights, because they're all supposed to be, key phrase, supposed to be compact Cattleya, so I should be able to grow them on the shelf without having to rearrange a whole bunch of stuff. And I just want to kind of debunk something. I've heard lots of people say that oncidium roots, especially on twinkles, aren't that long and they don't need a big pot. Well, these right here seem pretty long to me, and this is a fairly big pot. So I think, as with any orchid or flower, roots are going to grow into whatever size pot you give them. Now, I do know that there are some house plants with shorter roots, but I've never met an orchid with teeny tiny root system that couldn't fill up a pot. Oh, and Cymbidium, finally doing something, but it is a week away from spring, so maybe it was just kind of chugging along, and now that spring is around the corner, it's decided to go ahead and put some gas in the train. Just take a quick look at two of our November ICPUs here. So this one here is the one we cut the spike from, and as you can see is working on, get it out of that purplish light, working on a beautiful leaf. And do we see active root tips? Not yet. But that leaf will indicate roots, and there could be some roots on the inside that we're just not seeing yet, as well as this one back here is also growing a beautiful leaf. And what else do we have down here? Oh, my jewel orchid. Look, the piece that was hanging down, I just kind of wrapped it around on top because I did let her dry out so I could do that, so it'd be very flexible. And now she sits on top, so now I have like a more bushier looking plant. And Miss Lady back here with her no ID, look at those beautiful roots coming in. I love that. I love seeing that. Love, love, love it. Let's look at some pretty blooms. I know we've seen these for the last few weeks, but they're still going strong, and it looks like she's trying to push out another one. I may end up cutting this one if it's still in bloom at the end of the month of March, I will be cutting it. My Yin Lin is starting, this spike here has completely lost all of her buds. Looks like she's going to try to push out another one. And then of course we've still got 3 left on here, but she is trying to grow a new leaf. And I kind of like the way this leaf kind of went all funky up. I'm hoping this one does the same thing and then she just kind of makes wings back here. That'd be kind of cool. And then of course we've got this beauty here. She's so pretty. And she of course is trying to push out another bud. Again, if it's still in bloom at the end of March, I will be cutting this one as well. And I think our Shinyi Heart, Paphiopedilum Shinyi Heart, I don't know about her, guys. I think she's a goner, but as long as she's still green and sitting there, she's going to be okay in the collection because I really love her blooms. And then this is another Soft Clouds working on a leaf, and I don't see any active root tips on the outside, but she's also got a branch here. I did cut the main spike back. She had another spike that I did cut. And if you guys want an orchid that is very, very vigorous, get you a Soft Clouds. These ladies will grow roots, leaves, bloom throughout the year. I'll show you what the blooms look like in just a second. And then this is the one that has the spider mites, but I think I've pretty much eradicated them because I've wiped it with the cotton ball. I wipe it just about every other day. I try not to do it too much, but so far the cotton balls have come back clean. So fingers crossed the next set of leaves come out clean. But as you can see, she's starting to kind of go over now, and that is one of the drawbacks of repotting your orchid when it's in bloom. Sometimes the blooms won't last quite as long. And then here's our ICPU from November that has that beautiful spike that's starting to bud. So in the next few weeks, we'll be able to see what she looks like. And this is what the Soft Clouds looks like. Let me just kind of zoom in. So that's your Soft Clouds. Isn't she gorgeous? Beautiful. Now, she also has a leaf. She's got new roots. She recently was in bloom and then cut the spike. Shortly thereafter, she started another spike. And then here's another Soft Clouds. Again, new leaf. She has roots growing, as you can see. And then that spike right there, I recently cut a spike from her, and she's got that one coming right along. So if you want an orchid that is going to bloom for you on and off throughout the year, grow roots, grow leaves, be vigorous, Soft Clouds. The only drawback with the soft clouds is they are prone to eventually make a terminal spike, but they produce keikis readily. And with that, we'll leave it here on the Bellina. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll talk to you next time.